Okay, we've made it match week 37. We're in the home stretch here.
Wow. Two more weeks, really.
Yeah, two more
Right.
weeks. It probably even less than that because it's a midweek fixtures, right?
Man, oh man.
And I'll let you just take it away with the scores. It's a bit of Arsenal last season. Bottle job at the end.
Brock has had the lead all year long,
Yeah,
really.
It's yo-yoed once, but
And last week, I take him down 10-6. I get a perfect prediction on the game of the week.
finished me.
I win at 10-6, and I extend my 3-point cushion to 4 points. It's now 227 to 220. You got some games left. This would be an absolutely astonishing finish if you were able to come back.
Gotta get the game of the week perfect here, and that transitions us well.
All right, let's get into the game of the week.
That transitions us to Fulham at the Cottage, playing Manchester City, welcoming title favorites. How are you feeling as a Fulham fan, first of all?
Well, first things first, we have nothing to play for. Nothing to play for. But
Everything
to play for our friends in North London.
Oh.
We have Alex Iwobi, the former Gunner, Bert Leno, the former Gunner. They're going to be up for it.
There's a story written there.
Oh man, I can just see it. Bert Leno, 20 saves to win
Breaks
Arsenal.
Premier League record broken after Bern Leno saves every single shot in a Premier League fixture.
But going into this one, what's your honest feelings as an Arsenal fan? Do you think there's a chance that City drop one of these some points in the last 3 fixtures?
I'll tell you what. If City drops points, my biggest hope is it's going to be Fulham.
Oh, man.
My biggest hope is going to be Fulham, and that's when you know we are cooked. If Fulham is our hope, we are cooked. But what I'll tell you is I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
You have to.
And I'm going to do something really bold.
You have to.
It's going to get us there. And I'm going to say, not 1-1, 2-2 Fulham. Return the title into the hands of Arsenal.
Wow.
I'm playing with house money.
And just so you guys know, Brock said if Fulham were to be the reason Arsenal win the title, he would be buying a Fulham kit.
Yeah.
So Fulham, we need it from you this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go safe to give you an opportunity to make up some points. I'm just gonna go 2-1 Manchester City.
Wow, even that's pretty close. The Cherries playing host to the Bees. Bournemouth playing at home against Brentford. Two clubs that have nothing to play for.
Nothing to play for, but two clubs who've had a good season.
Yeah,
I mean, Iriola is up for manager of the season, which is just brilliant.
I don't know about all that, but
he's had a great year. I mean,
they're
they're sitting mid-table. They were in maybe relegation conversation at the beginning of the year. Solanke has been out of this world,
revitalized,
right? And so, props to him. Brentford, on the other hand, just they've been shaky. They've been shaky. There's no other way around it. But they're safe. So nothing really to play for. So
lots of personnel problems for Brentford as well.
Yeah.
You kind of disregard just how injury ridden they were and suspension ridden.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah,
right?
Lots of injuries. Players never really in form, and I think that played out this season.
Yeah, and it does say Thomas Frank's done a good job to be able to kind of right the ship. And stay in the Prem. This screams 1-1.
I was going to say 1-1, easy enough for me.
There you go. That'll bring us into Everton against Sheffield United. Everton hosts this one. Initial thoughts on Sheffield going down?
Yeah, it's pretty much as deserved as it could be, right? I know they're pushing records for worst season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
One of the worst sides we've seen. Never really threatened anyone.
And defensively, that's what's been really when you're talking about those records, the goals that they've allowed it's just through the roof. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. Everton, on the other hand, have been really good recently.
Yeah.
Really, really good recently. And even with their 8 points deduction, they're safe.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have that, they could be in European conversation.
Looking for European
which is just crazy. But Daishi has done a great job with the lads.
4-4-2.
What?
4-4-2, baby.
4-4-2.
It never fails.
Man, oh man. I'm going to go ahead and go Everton 3-1.
Everton 3-1. I think that this game will be a little bit closer.
Okay.
I think they'll put up a fight. They're going down. Fans will be up for it, but they'll still lose 2-1.
2-1. There you go. Bring us to the next one, Brock.
St. James Park. We get to visit again, where the Newcastle side plays host to Brighton.
Brighton finally. They were 6 matches without a win.
Yeah.
They get a win last week against a Villa team with a late penalty.
Yeah.
Going against Newcastle, who are right in the thick of a European battle.
Yeah.
And they've been playing very, very well.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're at home, right?
Yeah.
And very interesting game here. Isak is in after what Holland did last week, maybe not as much a golden boot conversation, but he's thinking.
I'm sitting here counting my lucky stars that Alexander Isak pays us a visit here in the summer.
He wants Isak to come to Arsenal in the summer.
Yeah, he's a proper player, really creative striker. I think out and out, he's been the best striker in the Premier League. I will go and stick my neck out on the line. Pound for pound, what he does, what he provides, I think he's better than Holland.
And an aspect of his game that is just sensational is his one-on-one ability. That's something that Holland maybe has that strength to just muscle through someone, but the way he can dribble past in a one-on-one situation is pretty impressive. But what's your prediction for this one?
I'm going to go Newcastle 2-0.
Newcastle 2-0. I'm going to go ahead and go Newcastle. We'll go 3-1.
3-1.
That'll take us to North London as we got Tottenham playing host to Burnley. It looks like Burnley are going down. I think they're 4 points 4 points away from getting out of the drop zone. Yeah. They need a lot to go their way, and it starts off against a Tottenham team who've been really, really bad, but you have to favor Tottenham in this one, right?
Tottenham's best bet in this game is that they go 2-0 down. That's their best bet, 2-0 down, and they just wait till the 70th minute, and all of a sudden they turn into prime Barca. They're pinging. Richarlison turns into Holland. It's ridiculous. This side loves to go down, concede sloppy goals, and then just claw back into games and put the pressure on, is how I describe it. But isn't that them with titles anyways? Just put the pressure on. But
I mean, they have a big game coming up at the midweek. Yeah. More important for the Premier League arc than this one. So we'll go ahead and throw out our picks here. Tottenham, I think they'll just dominate. I'm going to go 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham.
2-1 Tottenham.
Make it close. Hammers taking on Luton Town, blowing bubbles at home as they round out this season. What do we even make of this West Ham side?
Well, it looks like Moyes is out. Looks like he's going to be walking at the end of the season. They have a lot of ability. They've been very inconsistent. There's some weeks where you're like, man, this team's, gonna be on a European journey, and then there's some weeks where you're like, this team should be in the relegation picture. Yeah. And so it's really, really hard to peg them. Luton, on the other hand, they're in the similar case to Burnley, where they need a lot to go right to be able to get out of the relegation zone. A win here just puts the pressure on. It just makes you believe.
Yeah. I think, for me, what's really happened with West Ham is a hole was created when Declan Rice left the side, and tactically Moyes is no longer at the caliber to be able to figure that out. I think they have the personnel to be a side that's competing for Europe. Yeah. I think that you'll see a manager come in that will likely put the pressure on to take them to Europe, but I think it's a good thing. Moyes leaves, legend of the game, but I think he's now past it, and that's okay.
And they did something really, really cool at the beginning of the year. Is they were playing this we're never going to touch the ball and we're just going to hit you on the counter. But that can only get you so far before teams figure it out. Yeah. So they need someone to come in and solidify a new system to bring success there. Yeah. I don't think they have anything really to play for now, so I'm going to throw out my prediction: 2-1 Luton.
2-1 Luton is a great shout. I'm going to just go 1-0 Luton. Why not? Luton. Let's back the Hatters.
Hey, there we go. That's going to bring us into Wolves against Crystal Palace, 2 mid-table sides. Crystal Palace, though, recently, under Oliver Glasner, have been brilliant. They are, I think they're 5th in the form table since Oliver Glasner took the helm. He's got 18 points with them, and he's just been brilliant. Mateta, Eze, Elise, oh my days. Their production has been just lifted, because instead of sitting in, into their defensive shape that they did under Hodgkinson, they are playing very much on the foot, on the attack, and their press has been really, really good. And that's where they're getting a lot of their chances from.
Yeah. Your best bet, hire a new physio staff and keep those 3 guys that you mentioned on the field as much as possible. That's always been their problem. They cannot keep their star players on the field.
Yep.
These guys that make a difference, and I don't care, tactical identity, absolutely, but there's something to be said about Elise, about Eze, the way that they change the game, the way they occupy spaces.
We'll see if they're on the team next year, though.
Yeah, they're going to get scooped up. We'll see Elise over at United. Like these are the kind of players that proven any big side is looking to go scoop up.
And they have the technical ability to unlock any team.
Yeah.
Any team.
Wolves, I can't say the same. I can't say the same for Wolves. I never look at the side.
But the thing with Wolves is they have the talent, but they're in the same boat where they haven't been able to stay healthy, right? Neto has been out for months, and since Neto's gone out, you've seen their performances dip, right? But
that's all to say. This game is going to finish 2-2. Why not?
2-2. I'm going to go 3-1 Palace. I think they're a good side, and I think they want to keep the momentum right now.
Forest hosting Chelsea. A lot to play for on the Forest end of the spectrum. Chelsea just continuing to feel they have something to prove. A wasted season I don't think is fair, but
they're in Europe right now.
Yeah.
And they're above United. I mean, they're in a very, very interesting situation, because if they end top 6 and finish the year on this win streak, they're kind of tear they're on. As a Chelsea fan, over the long summer, you're feeling really good.
Yeah.
Really good. And that's a huge deal. I mean, going into the summer, feeling good about your squad, that's a long 3 months. You know what I mean? It's a long 3 months. And being able to believe and have faith in what you're going to do in the offseason, because you've just won, your last 6 games of the season and qualified for Europe when you were in 12th.
Go spend more money.
Is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be huge. Forest, on the other hand, if they win this game, you can pretty much say they're staying up.
Yeah.
So they have a lot to play for. Yeah. So I think this game is going to be one of the more competitive ones of the weekend, considering both teams have something they want to play for.
Yeah. I could put a scoreline on it for you.
You go ahead.
Contextualize the ideas that I've just seen thrown out. 3-2 Chelsea.
3-2 Chelsea. I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea. That'll bring us into Manchester United against the Arsenal, a very, very difficult fixture. Yeah. Not because of Man United's recent form, but because how they're going to play up to your competition this weekend. United
will always be that team, regardless of their squad, their form, anything. They will show up for big games because they're that pedigree of club. They're going to be at Old Trafford. The fans will be up for it. And so this is where I feel really conflicted, because when you watch United, you see a lot of vulnerability, tactical flaws that can be exploited, but then there's something to be said about just big games create big moments where it's these little details, almost intangibles, that matter.
Yep.
This is the last big test for Arsenal. I think this is it. I think if there's one more slip for Arsenal's perspective, this is the game. This is the one that they can really solidify and have themselves be in a position where who knows what can happen. Yeah,
put the pressure on.
Put the pressure on.
I mean, we've been talking throughout this week. It's if Arsenal went out and City went out, you're feeling like you put the pressure on you and you worked for it. If Arsenal drop points, then you feel like you've lost it.
Yeah.
And that's not a good feeling, And so, like you said, Arsenal, they have to go put it together. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. There you go.
Last fixture of this match week before some midweek madness.
Yep.
We get Villa playing host to Liverpool. This is a big one. This is a big game. It's a Villa side with so much to play for.
Yep.
Playing against Liverpool, who we've seen slump in form, get kind of back on track against Tottenham, but I don't know. This is a weird one. This is one of those games that it should be for so much more, and just with the way things have shaken out, it's less.
It feels like both of these teams, Liverpool are solidified 3rd, Villa are solidified 4th. That's kind of how it feels. And so it's like what will happen in this one? I don't know. It's like, what team's going to actually be up for it? What team's going to be, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're getting to the stage of the season, though, where you're looking at Klopp's last games with the club.
Yeah.
And
Passion.
that being said, it's like Liverpool are going to absolutely want to be up for it.
Yeah.
And so that being said, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. It's a classic scoreline.
Yep.
Give me on the lower spectrum of it, 2-1 Liverpool to round out this match week.
There you go. Well, that's going to wrap us up for We're throwing up the graphic right now. Be sure to be in the comments. And yeah, anything else you want to add?
That's all I got for you.
There we go. Cheers.